So good afternoon and welcome back, friends. After the ocean bottom relief, let's discuss about temperature and salinity in the ocean. Okay, so we'll have the discussion now. Temperature and salinity. This is the topic here. First, as the topic says about temperature, you will be surprised to know, and it is very difficult to sometimes even believe that ocean plays a very important role on the overall controlling the temperature of the earth. Ocean, whatever energy you have, heat energy in the ocean, is more than the entire heat energy of the atmosphere. I am talking about only atmosphere, lower atmosphere, specifically troposphere. ट्रोपोस्फीयर में जितना हीट एनर्जी है उससे ज्यादा है ओशियन में. इनफैक्ट ओशियन इज ए हीट इंजन. Ocean is a heat engine. Ocean plays a significant role on hydrological cycle. Ocean plays a very significant role on overall global climatic conditions, soothing of the climate at the coastal range and so many things, my friends. So far as temperature is concerned, definitely temperature depends on a lot of things. Over the ocean, like the continent, we have horizontal, latitudinal as well as vertical changes in the temperature. So let us see about this. So please note down here. Like the atmosphere, ocean also, like the atmosphere, our ocean also get heated up by, or our ocean gets energy from or heated up by the sun. You know that it is in terms of what? Short wave radiation. More important it is. By the way, the temperature, like the atmosphere, temperature is more at the low latitude. So temperature is more at the low latitude and decreases towards the poles. From the low latitude toward the poles, temperature gradually decreases. No doubt it will decrease. I said from the low latitude towards the poles, it will decrease, temperature decreases. But not at a, that is like, they are regulated or affected by a lot of things. Okay. Distribution of temperature over the ocean is greatly influenced by the following factors. क्या ऐसे फैक्टर्स है जिससे ये पूरी तरह से इनफैक्ट डिपेंडेंट है? व्हाट आर द मेजर फैक्टर्स ऑन विच इट इज डिपेंडेंट? First and foremost, definitely, like the atmosphere here, latitude. Latitudinal location is very important here. Latitude plays an important role. My friends, at equator, the temperature of this one, like at 0 degree latitude, the average temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. 0 degree latitude. Interestingly, it is at 20 degree latitude, 40 degree latitude, 60 degree latitude, it will be how much? Let us see now. At 0 degree it is 26 degree. One degree Celsius at the 60 degree, no? 1 degree Celsius. 0 degree latitude 26 degree Celsius. 60 degree latitude, it is around 1 degree Celsius. And very interestingly, 40 degree latitude 14 degree Celsius. आप देखो इसको. On an average, both the hemisphere if you see. At the equator it is 26 degree. At 60 degree it is 1 degree Celsius. At 60 degree latitude it is 1 degree Celsius. Now, very interestingly, if you look at this particular aspect like north and south pole area, north and south pole, polar region 90 degree minus 13 degree Celsius something it is coming, minus 13. It is less, in fact polar region has minus 13, 13 degree Celsius, minus 13. So by the way, this is here is the latitudinal extent. If you can see, this is the latitudinally there is a variation in the temperature, and because of the, as you know, that angle of incidence which is changing. Okay, this is the first point. Second is, I hope it is clear to you. पहला point clear है सभी को. ये latitude angle of incidence जो change होगा, जैसे एटमोस्फियर का है ऐसे ही होगा. ये यहाँ पे टेम्परेचर घटेगा from the equatorial region to the pole. If you will go, even in the ocean, temperature will gradually decrease. It is highest, gradually it will decrease toward the poles. Both the cases it will decrease toward the poles. That's what I said. In both the cases it will decrease, it is decreasing toward the poles. This is the beauty of this particular. So factor is, what is the factor? Latitude is the most important factor. Second one, second factor is unequal distribution of the continent and the ocean. Unequal distribution of the continent and the ocean. This is the most important, another factor. Unequal distribution of continent and the ocean. It plays a very important role. See, always you know, continental part will get heats up early, cool down early. Ocean takes time for gradual cooling, and gradually it will also release the heat. Okay. Ocean, that's why situated in northern hemisphere, because more land mass is there, it warm up very quickly. You got it what I am saying? Ocean present, water body present in the northern hemisphere, they get heated up easily as compared to the ocean in the southern hemisphere. But if you look at the cooling down of this, so range of temperature will be more in which part? Ocean of northern hemisphere has greater range of temperature than the oceans of the water bodies of the southern hemisphere. So please note down, oceans, ocean or northern hemisphere, okay, ocean of northern hemisphere has greater temperature contrast, greater annual temperature contrast. Okay, greater, what is that? Annual temperature contrast, then the water bodies of the southern hemisphere. Ocean of northern hemisphere has greater annual temperature contrast than the water bodies of the southern hemisphere. because of more continental part in the northern hemisphere. If you look at the range, we don't have to go in detail of that, like how much range and what is that, but yes, on an average, the temperature range in a particular latitude, if you see even, is different. The Arctic Ocean has greater range than the Southern Ocean even. Arctic Ocean. Okay, fine. We have like this. Land and water, their nature also is different. Another point here it is. The third point I will go for. Third point जो है prevailing wind. Prevailing wind. What type of wind is blowing in a particular regions? ये wind कैसा है? This wind, warm wind or cold wind, it is coming from continent or coming from the ocean. They also change. And how long it has in fact traveled. So while it is traveling through the ocean surface, also friction is there and they influence the temperature condition of a region. Okay. Wind generally carries the surface water of the ocean with them. Okay. So what happens? Friction will be there. Surface water जो है ना साथ साथ wind जब बहेगा एक जगह पे, ocean current subsequently भी होते हैं. And as you know, prevailing wind, warm or cold wind, they definitely has an impact on the temperature of a region. Another one is, fourth point here you can say, it is the ocean current. Cold ocean current I haven't discussed in detail, but I told you earlier, these are huge body of water which flows in a definite direction. Huge body of water flows drains in a definite direction. Again I am saying, what are ocean current? These are, अच्छा, prevailing wind में आप लिख लेंगे easterlies, westerlies, इधर दिखाई नहीं देगा आपको यहाँ, westerlies, okay, cold और warm wind जो भी है, continental और oceanic, ठीक है. ocean current में, ocean current क्या होगा? The large scale displacement of water in a defined direction is called as ocean current. Ocean current. I told you ocean current are of two types. There are two major types of ocean current. Ocean currents. What are those? Cold current and another one is warm current. I hope you are well aware. Cold current is associated with what? Flow of cold water. Warm current is associated with flow of warm water. So I have already mentioned about this. When there is an ocean current, let us say here you have. Let us talk about these particular regions. So cold current will bring cold water, cold current, it will bring cold water, so it is cold. In that regions you will have cool condition. Here it is warm current. This warm current is responsible for bringing warm water, warm current. कोई भी जगह पे देखो दुनिया में, if it is influenced by cold oceanic current, it will be cold area. I mean comparatively cooling effect will be there, and warm ocean current warming effect will be there. So the climate will be different here. For an example here you can see, look at here, this globe. If I'll say this region, as all of us were well aware, यहाँ पे देखिए तो क्यूरोशियो करंट बोल के जाते हैं यहाँ पे, फ्रॉम हियर क्यूरोशियो करंट इज वार्म करंट फ्रॉम जापान कोस्ट होते ऐसे जाती है. दिस इज ब्रिंगिंग वार्मनेस टू दिस अपर पार्ट, and here it is coming this side the cold oceanic current, OASCO it is called as, it is being cooling effect. Another important point here you can say here you have a ocean current, देखो यहाँ वार्म करंट जो इक्वेटोरियल रीजन से जाती है यहाँ से, फ्रॉम दिस इट ब्लोज इन दिस वे एज एंटाइल करंट, एज फ्लोरिडा करंट, एज कैरिबियन करंट, एज गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको, मेक्सिको करंट और गल्फ स्ट्रीम. देन यू हैव हियर एज नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ड्रिफ्ट, ऐसे आती है नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ड्रिफ्ट होके नॉर्वे की कोस्ट में यहाँ पे नॉर्वेजियन करंट बनता है, नॉर्वे कोस्ट में यहाँ नॉर्वेजियन करंट. देखो ये यहाँ से निकलता है, हियर इट इज स्टार्टिंग एंड गोइंग इन दिस वे अप टू हियर, और यहाँ पे मुरमांस एंड नार्विक के जो रीजन है, ऑल दीज आर आइस कवर्ड रीजन्स, दे बिकम आइस फ्री बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. द एंटायर रीजन वार्म वाटर कम्स इन दिस वे, melting away the snow field of these regions. This is a very good example here. Warm oceanic current is influencing the near the subpolar region, पोल के आसपास रीजन में वार्मिंग इफेक्ट हो रहा है. It is so interesting to note here that warm current is influencing even the subpolar region. आर्कटिक सर्कल के पास रीजन है जो पोर्ट है, जैसे नार्वी की जो पोर्ट इन नॉर्वे, it is free from ice. There will be no ice formation, that no blocking of the ice within this port. Ice free port है ये नार्विक. ये देखो ये नार्विक है, यहाँ पे मुरमांक्स है रशिया की, मुरमांक्स इज हियर, मुरमांक्स इज हियर इन रशिया. देखो कहाँ पोल के पास है, मुरमांक्स इज आइस फ्री पोर्ट, आइस फ्री पोर्ट. ऑन द कंट्रारी ये मुरमांक्स इधर आइस फ्री है, यहाँ पे देखो ये इधर से आती है कोल्ड करंट, इसका बोलते हैं लैब्राडोर करंट. हियर इट इज फुल ऑफ स्नो, हियर आइस कैप्स यहाँ पे हो जाता है. यहाँ पे देखो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, यहाँ पे मगर ये नियर 60 डिग्री यू हैव आइस कैप्स. दिस इज शोइंग that the impact of the ocean current, if you see warm current, warming effect, cold current, cooling effect, definitely it is there. So they influences the temperature of the ocean, and देखो ocean temperature is greatly influenced by these flow of water. Warm current generally blows from the equator to the pole, cold current always from the pole to the equator, or high latitude to the low latitude. In this way complete circulation is there, circulation of water you have. In this way there is complete circulation of the water. This is what I want to say. A very very important point this is, and you must know that ocean current plays a very important role on the temperature distribution of the ocean. Ocean की temperature distribution में इसका बहुत बड़ा रोल रहता है. Okay, this is here certain things. I hope clear to you. Ocean current. Now next one is cloudiness of the sky. ये तो automatically this will be there, no doubt. You will have cloudiness of the sky. So it is fourth point. Fifth point I will go for now. Fifth point is cloudiness of the sky. Cloudiness of the sky. Cloudiness of the sky. Cloudiness of the sky. A very very important factor this is, cloudiness. Sky condition is a very important factor, cloudiness of the sky. Okay. Then you have another, these are the most important, depth of the ocean. Depth of the ocean also is a very important factor, due to which if there is upwelling or downwelling or what is there, mixing of the water. So sixth point is depth of the ocean and mixing of water, surface and deep sea water. Mixing up of surface and the deep sea water. Mixing up of the surface and the deep sea water. Okay. Mixing up of the surface and deep sea water. That is more important. Okay. This is what I want to just say. Factors मैं यही कहूँगा. The temperature varies with respect to latitude which I have just given. latitude plays a very important role here, and all the ocean, if you see, temperature they trap, and they first they trap, they store, then they release. So there is a time lag on this. So winter में जो होता है टेम्परेचर में, समर में जो आपका एब्जॉर्ब किया है, ये आ जाते आते क्या होगा, ये विंटर हो जाते हैं जब द रेनी सीजन, बिकॉज ऑफ द ocean only, because of the moisture only we are getting the rain or cloud formation. Due to evaporation it is happening. So जब ये heat को radiate करेगा, evaporation बढ़ेगा जब, then only will have the cloud and all. So it is a entire phenomena related here. So this is all about the horizontal distribution. If you look at even vertically, there is vertical distribution of the ocean temperature. There is also vertical distribution of the ocean temperature. Very interestingly, it is there. Vertical distribution. जैसे आपका horizontal में differences है, there is a vertical distribution of course of the ocean current. So लिखो ये vertical distribution of temperature. Vertical distribution. Like horizontal, there is vertical distribution also. Two questions I got here. one is, what will be temperature at 90° latitude? See, it varies from both this, but average is -13, -13°, -13. Another one, how continent transfer heat to the ocean? See, you know about the conduction, advection, and heat transfer is through different processes. I hope we are well aware. So, if this is the continent here, continent, ये continent है, and this is ocean है. You know that the land bridge and sea bridge, you know it. Land bridge, sea bridge क्या है? Differences in temperature here. Land bridge में क्या होता है? You have like here, this is here is low pressure in the daytime, cool effect, high pressure in the night. So what will happen here? Wind will blow like this. This is called as what? Ocean to this. This is the sea breeze. Sea breeze. Okay, but whenever you have a high pressure here in the night you have high pressure, here you have low pressure. याद है ना आपको? Do you remember this? You will have like wind will blow from here to here. ये क्या है? Night पे this is here is cool, here it is warm, so it is known as land breeze. So land breeze and sea breeze are good example. Local, I have already discussed this. So this is like one manifestation, one way through which there is heat release takes place, heat energy exchange होता है. Or second one, as you know, this is the most important, wind as the most important one. Another one is we have like radiation, temperature radiate भी करेगा, evaporation के जरिए होता है, आपको पता है. We have like heat also transferred gradually, because you see that photic zone is up to 1000 repulse, यानी कि जहाँ तक सन रे जा सकता है, नीचे नहीं जाता है, नीचे तो cool condition है on that regions in fact. So in a different way, in fact, they generally are responsible for heat exchange and different mode through which there is an exchange of heat. By the way, vertical distribution अगर देखेंगे, like the horizontal distribution, vertically if you see inside the ocean has different distinctive layer. First you must remember this. Ocean is not uniform as we feel like, but ocean has different layers. Let us see now how it is. देखिए आप कैसा होता है ocean में. Just see this. I'll draw this and let you know about. Okay, let us say this is the ocean here. Okay, Here is the ocean. And you have here you have the water. Water level is this much. We'll have like a layer. We have the, let's say, 0 degree here. Sixty. 90 degree. -30 degree. This is the ocean here. I'm talking about the layer here. Here you have cold and deep water. Here it is cold, deep water. In the lower part, you have the cold, deep water. Here you have warm water layer. This zone has warm water, and this is here is the thermocline zone. Thermocline zone. Thermocline का मतलब ये होता है the zone where there is sudden change in the temperature takes place. Thermocline. Warm water zone, thermocline zone, cold deep water zone. Any ocean will have the 3 different zones: warm water, thermocline, and deep water zone. If it is Greenland, in the north, this is Antarctica in the south. This one here is the southern part. This is southern hemisphere, this is northern hemisphere. Okay. southern latitude, this is northern latitude, southern hemisphere, northern hemisphere. Okay, in between. You will have like this. In general, vertically there are three layers in fact. Ocean का तीन layer है. And this is because of this, vertical division in the temperature also there. There is a vertical division in the temperature also. Warm water, thermocline, cold deep water. You have three things I said. Okay, आगे देखते हैं मैं. एक बहुत ही important है, like if I'll go for this, one cross section if I'll take here, like in this zone, पहला तो है आप याद रखें कि ये जोन में टेम्परेचर जो है ना यहाँ पे ऑलमोस्ट कांस्टेंट रहेगा. टेम्परेचर विल बी ऑलमोस्ट कांस्टेंट हियर. In the equatorial zone, you have temperature is almost constant here. Almost constant. Here suddenly it will change. Here there is gradual change or no change. ऐसे होता है. This zone a thermocline zone है. टेम्परेचर यहाँ पे ऑलमोस्ट कांस्टेंट होगा. ऑलमोस्ट टाइम से ही देन ग्रेजुअली यहाँ पे चेंज होता है एट ए पर्टिकुलर डेप्थ. देन इट इज देयर बिटवीन. लेट अस लुक एट डेप्थ के हिसाब से. लेट मी ड्रॉ ए डायग्राम शोइंग दिस. इसको मैं शो करता हूँ आपको डायग्राम बना के, देखिएगा आप. This is the case here. Zero surface level. This is the ocean surface layer. Surface layer of the ocean. (500 meter), 1000 meter, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000 like this. (1500), 2000, 2500, 3000, 3500, 4000, 4500, 5000. This type depth, if I'll go for depth in meter of the ocean. This is the ocean here on the sea surface. If you see, if I will go for this 1000 to 400 5000 is the thermocline zone. This is in fact the thermocline. If I'll go for the temperature, temperature is 0 degree. Okay. Four degree, 8 degree, 12 degree, 16 degree, 20 degree, 22 degree. Let us say this is here 20, 24 degree will have 20 or 24. The temperature, surface layer temperature here. This is the surface layer and it is temperature in degrees Celsius. This is here. And this surface layer, that this deep sea here, this is I have given here in the depth. This one is depth in meter. Depth in meter in this way. If it is like this, then we have very interestingly temperature. If you see, you will get it around 22 degree. This is the zone of thermocline. I told you we have already mentioned. This is thermocline zone, and this is the deep sea zone. See, temperature will decrease with three layers here you have. Okay, there are three distinct layers in the ocean. First layer where there is surface layer, second layer thermocline layer, third layer is deep sea layer. Okay, so this is here is temperature gradually decreases with this. This is almost constant. High temperature will decline sharply in 400 nearly to 1000 meter. Nearly from 4000 to 400 to 1000 meter, there is a sudden change in the temperature. This is zone is called a thermocline zone. This particular zone is called as thermocline zone. ये जो रीजन है जहाँ पे टेम्परेचर सडनली चेंज हो रहा है इसको क्या बोलते हैं थर्मोक्लाइन जोन. दिस जोन इज कॉल्ड एज zone of thermocline or thermocline zone. Okay, this is deep sea area. This is thermocline zone. Thermocline zone, where temperature is gradually changing. ये पूरा suddenly change हो रहा है temperature. Thermocline. Okay. So please note down here. Temperature there is a vertical gradient in the temperature also. I got one more question. How cloudness of sky expenses again, please explain. Achha, you are talking about cloudiness of the sky. See, cloudiness of the sky, as we know, if more cloud, some cloud they radiate the, insolation. Some clouds they absorb it, so surface पे नहीं आ पाएगा. That is the cause. Density 4 degree water is mixing is deep ocean temperature 4 degree anywhere. Yes, 4 degree. Thank you. 4 डिग्री से और नीचे टेम्परेचर, डेंसेस्ट वाटर कहाँ है? 4 डिग्री है ना, इसीलिए टेम्परेचर डेंसिटी 4 डिग्री मैक्सिमम. ओके, यस. सो डीप ओशन एनीवेयर 4 डिग्री. यस, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू से. ये डायग्राम तो वही बोल रहा है ना. डायग्राम इज सेइंग द टेम्परेचर 4 डिग्री इज ए डेंसेस्ट वन. दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव, यू विल नॉट हैव द टेम्परेचर बिलो 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस. 4 डिग्री से नीचे नहीं होगा, डेंसिटी वहां पे ज्यादा है. दिस इज व्हाट, आई होप क्लियर इट इज. देयर इज ए डिग्री. दिस में डिफर. आपका ये इन जनरल कहाँ पे, दिस इज द रीजन, इन जनरल आई हैव गिवन. ये इक्वेटर के आसपास रीजन में हो सकते हैं. मगर अगर मैं पोल के तरफ जाऊंगा, ऐसे पहले बताया था ना, इट इज एट दिस रीजन इट इज लाइक दिस. At the polar area it is different. इधर देखो, इधर absent here almost. This zone is almost absent towards the poles. Okay, but thermocline suddenly change हो जाएगा ये पोल के आसपास रीजन में. This is what I want to say. Cold water. Okay, so there is a great vertical change. Please note down here on this. There is a vertical gradient of temperature. There is a vertical gradient of temperature. Okay, temperature decreases sharply below the surface layer up to 1000 meter approximately. That is not a photic layer. Up to photic zone. Photic zone means जहां तक सनराइज आ पाएगा, कॉल्ड एज थर्मोक्लाइन. थर्मोक्लाइन जोन, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? थर्मोक्लाइन जोन. थर्मोक्लाइन जोन. Temperature decreases sharply below the surface layer up to 1000 meter. That is a photic zone called as the thermocline zone. उसके नीचे there is constant. Note down here. Below the thermocline zone, below the thermocline zone, below the thermocline zone up to the ocean floor in the deep sea, temperature decreases up to 4 degrees Celsius, at which the sea water is densest. Okay, at which the sea water is densest. So यहाँ तक ज़्यादा रहेगा, sea water यहाँ densest है, यहीं तक ही होगा. I hope you got it. Okay, this is here certain things. My friend, this is a very important point. You must remember that vertical decrease in temperature will go maximum decrease होगा ना 1100 to 1000 to 1150 around meter. Depends on where it is. I am talking about the equator. If it towards the pole, it will be less. आप देखो इक्वेटर के पास ये होगा, पोल की तरफ जाओगे तो कम होते जाएंगे. So depth. So in this way there is change in the temperature. So this is something here I can say about the ocean temperature. I hope you got some idea. Very important thing, another point here is salinity of the ocean. Salinity of ocean. Salinity, it represents the amount of salt present in 1000 gram. Amount of salt present in gram, remember, in 1000 gram of sea water. So it represents the amount of salt present in gram in 1000 gram of sea water. I hope you got it. Do you know what the average salinity of the ocean? Do you know the average salinity of the ocean? Anyone? 35 है ना? Average salinity of the ocean is 35 parts per thousand. Remember, it is expressed as parts per thousand और PPT ऐसे होता है, PPT parts per thousand, expressed as the parts per thousand it is. So it represents the amount of salt present in 1000 gram of sea water. It is expressed as parts per thousand, and average salinity of the ocean is 35 parts per thousand. Average salinity of the ocean is 35 parts per thousand, I said. चलिए, to know about this, our ocean water, ocean or sea water comprises different minerals, like different minerals it has sodium chloride, percentage of the total salt, if you look at 77.8% of total salt. Magnesium chloride, if you look at the total percentage of total salt, 10.9%. Magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, magnesium sulfate is nearly, as you know, 4.7% you have, 4.7%. Calcium sulfate, you will get nearly 3.6% of total salt. Potassium sulfate, nearly 2.5% of total salt here, 2.5% of the total salt, potassium sulfate. Calcium carbonate, in the sea water it is nearly 0.3%. Of the total salt content here. Magnesium bromide अगर देखेंगे तो 0.2, magnesium bromide, %. You must remember these three things. You must remember: sodium chloride, very important, and magnesium chloride, second very important one, and calcium sulfate 3.6. ये तीनों तो याद रखो. Rest, even if you don't know, it's okay. But these are like, most important ones. So composition wise यही होगा. As I was talking about the salt, different type of salt present here. मैंने कहा यहाँ पे कि ये if will have 100 अगर हम लेंगे % of the salt, then ये होगा आपका ये 77.8, 10.9, 4.7, 3.6, 2.5, 0.3 and 0.2%. This is the way, this is the percentage of different things we will find out in these regions. Okay, hope you got it. Okay, I got again question from you. Previous slide you want, which one? Previous slide is this, salinity. This slide? The marine creature live in the polar marine regions due to 4 degrees Celsius. Kindly explain this in terms of polar region. See what happened. In the polar regions, the upper part, देखो क्या होगा, ऊपर जो होता ना segregation हो जाएगा. अभी salinity में बात करूँगा मैं. Segregation of the water will takes place. Salt has the capacity to retain, saline water has the capacity to retain the heat energy, temperature, वो absorb करके रखेगा. I hope you know about this. And this is the cause we go for gargling. Gargling करते तो ज़्यादा इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, सॉल्ट की सूदिंग इफेक्ट होता है ना. और सॉल्ट की जो whenever you have some injury or something, we used to give, होता ना, सॉल्ट की पुटली गर्म पानी में ये करके हम लोग भाप देते हैं, होता कि नहीं. Usually we go for this because salt generally have the heat energy, more absorption of heat energy absorb करता है. पता है कि नहीं? If you know it, if you don't know, please let me know. नहीं तो आप देखो ना, कुल्फी खाते हो, कुल्फी, used to have कुल्फी. So what happened? you have a case in which एक frame होता है, case होता है, इसके milk डालते हैं and then in the ice they keep it. Okay, then while you remove this, what they'll do? क्या जादू करता है देखा होगा है? एक पानी में salt water in which it will dip it and again you will get like a kulfi है. So why? Because salt water is warmer than normal water. You got it? So salt is there, I mean temperature will be more in that case comparatively, because temperature is more, so definitely it will have soothing effect. वहाँ पे जो है ना, जो animal which can survive or which can get enough oxygen in that regions, as well as it can have the conducive environment, अगर टेम्परेचर फैक्टर है तो टेम्परेचर को रेजिस्ट करने का कैपेसिटी होता है वहाँ पे, बिकॉज ऑफ द वार्मिंग इफेक्ट. एंड पोलर रीजन, दैट्स व्हाई you have some creature, some of the animals, marine animal you will get in the polar region. Upper part you have ice, but denser saline water is below, lighter fresh water is above. So lighter fresh water जो है ना, fresh water जो है ऊपर जो है क्या होगा वो, it form ice, नीचे जो है denser saline water रह जाते हैं, segregation हो जाता है. Okay, that's why marine animal lives in the polar water even if it is cold condition, okay. This is what something I would like to say. Let me now move on. इसके बाद हम एक ये देखेंगे. These are, I said, different things related with the salinity part. Salinity में what are the factors affecting the salinity? Factors which are dependent, क्या क्या factor है? Factors affecting salinity of water, sea water. What are the factors responsible for this? One is definitely temperature. So you have evaporation. Evaporation is the most important process. Evaporation is more important. Temperature है तो क्या हुआ? Evaporation अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो, है ना? Temperature and evaporation. Temperature and evaporation करते हैं एक point. Second point is precipitation. Precipitation and addition of fresh water. This is also very important factor. Fresh water addition is also a very important factor. Addition of fresh water. Okay. Temperature and evaporation, precipitation and addition of fresh water. Okay. I hope you got it. Third one is you have prevailing wind. Prevailing wind also plays a very important role. Fourth point, because temperature is changed by this. Another yarn is atmospheric pressure. Precipitation and addition of the fresh water, prevailing wind, atmospheric pressure, और क्या हो सकता है? Ocean current. They regulate what? The extent of evaporation and all. Because they regulate the evaporation condition of a region, evaporation and all other things. They also play a very important role here. I hope you got it. These are the major factors here. There is a great distribution in the salinity as well as latitudinal wise and vertically also there is a change in the salinity also. If I'll go for the both the hemispheres, salinity is different at different places. Let us say, note down here, there is a great variation in salinity, both vertical and horizontal, both vertical and horizontal variation. Great variation here. So what is that variation? We will see now. क्या variation है देखते हैं. What is there in northern hemisphere? If I will go for the latitude, and salinity. Latitude and salinity if I will go for 0 to 15 to 10 डिग्री. इक्वेटर में कितना होगा? इक्वेटर में कम रहता है थोड़ा, तो यह 15 डिग्री to 10 to 15 डिग्री if you look at. $34.5. $15, $35. अब देखिए यहाँ पे ऑन लैटिट्यूड वाइज अगर देखेंगे तो दिख रहा हाउ एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर अफेक्ट सैलिनिटी. एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर में हाई प्रेशर होगा तो क्या होगा? सिंकिंग ऑफ द एयर, एवापोरेशन होने नहीं देगा. इफ लो प्रेशर कंडीशन, मोर एवापोरेशन विल बी देयर ऑन दैट बेसिस. मिक्सिंग ऑफ द वाटर ऑल्सो, अपवेलिंग और डाउनवेलिंग ऑफ द वाटर, that also affect the what you call ocean salinity. Like ज़्यादा प्रेशर है कहीं पे, water will goes down, sinking of the vertically, water will sink down. Okay, in that case also there is upwelling somewhere. Downwelling होगा, नीचे पानी गया तो उधर because of more pressure this will happen. So mixing of the water leads to change in the salinity level. Okay, I hope you got it. Okay. ये ऑन एन एवरेज है, ये डाटा थोड़ा सा वेरिएशन हो सकता है आपका जो डाटा लेंगे भी. दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव गिवन एज मिस्टर फिलिप लेक्स हैज गिवन. फिलिप लेक्स इज ए वेरी राउंड in fact author. According to him I have given this. Okay, so equatorial region has low salinity, एक चीज बता देता हूं मैं, हम इक्वेटोरियल रीजन लो सैलिनिटी, equatorial region has low salinity, okay. Then you have tropical zone maximum salinity, ये याद रखें, tropical zone maximum salinity, then you have temperate zone, लो सैलिनिटी। अब देखो यहां पे मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूं, टेम्परेट जोन में लो सैलिनिटी वाला बात आया ना ये, एंड पोलर जोन slight increase in salinity during summer, winter में during the winter, during winter, okay. Hope you got some idea now. अभी मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ क्यों है, क्या है. Does stagnant water has greater salinity? See, in any case, somebody is asking me, sir, is it possible to describe again juvenile stage and early maturity stage of temperate cyclone? You can call me, I'll explain it to you. Okay. Does stagnant water has greater salinity? It depends evaporation is there or not. But in general, stagnant water has proper stratification of the layer and greater salinity. Stratification of the layer अच्छा रहता है stagnant water में. Okay. Anyway, let us see now one more point here. We can have one more point. देखते हैं. No other question you have. Please see this. ये point को मैं भी explain करूँगा why it is so. We'll see that. क्यों है ये? Okay, done. Okay, fine. Let me explain it now. देखिए आप यहां पे देखो, ये डेटा को देखो. Equatorial region has a low salinity. You know why? You note down. Why equatorial region has a low salinity? Because of the presence of the low pressure, heavy rainfall. So heavy rainfall leads to what? Addition of the fresh water. Tropical maximum, because tropical region has a high pressure condition. Evaporation is less. Evaporation is more, but precipitation is less. डेजर्ट एरिया जो है ना, वो कहाँ होता है? ट्रॉपिकल रीजन में. ट्रॉपिकल रीजन है हाई प्रेशर कंडीशन, सब ट्रॉपिकल, ट्रॉपिकल रीजन. सो दिस रीजन्स यू हैव, दैट्स व्हाई in the subtropical to tropical regions we have salinity is more, because evaporation is there, because of the wind action evaporation is there, but no precipitation. Precipitation is very less. Here in this case precipitation is more, very high. अब क्या है? Precipitation is very high. Here evaporation exceeds precipitation. टेम्परेट रीजन में लो बिकॉज ऑफ टेम्परेट cyclone, that is more precipitation, एंड आपको पता है टेम्परेट साइक्लोन होगा ना कितने में, टेम्परेट जोन में होता है टेम्परेट साइक्लोन इफ इट इज देयर इट इज क्रिएटिंग again disturbances giving rainfall, addition of influx of the fresh water you have. So temperate zone has low salinity because of the more rainfall again. Polar zone slightly increase in salinity because of segregation of stratification of water. Stratification of water here. Stratification होगा layer by layer. Stratification of the water and development of ice or the iceberg on the upper part. आइसबर्ग जैसा सब लोग है ना, सभी जो है ना आइस शेल्फ बन जाएंगे ऊपर, आइस शेल्फ. With fresh water became it developed the ice shelf. Inside you have the saline water below. तो आपका ये जो चीजें होता है इसीलिए स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन होता है. स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन लीड्स टू एन, जो सालाइन वाटर है नीचे रह जाएगा, फ्रेश वाटर ऊपर रह जाएगा. तो फ्रेश वाटर आइस अगर बन गया, स्नो बन गया, तो ऊपर जो रह गया वो नीचे जो होता है ना डेंसर वाटर विल बी देयर. दिस इज द कॉज ऑफ सैलिनिटी डिफरेंसेस इन दीज रीजन्स. I hope it is clear to all of you. Is it clear to you? Got it? So there is a change in the temperature and salinity. If you will see, there is a change in the temperature and salinity. Surface layer में salinity जो है ना, upper layer जो है salinity थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा रहता है because of this, as I have just mentioned. Okay. Now as we know, which regions of the earth have more salinity? कहाँ पे salinity ज़्यादा है? पूछता है ना prelim में. You know about the Dead Sea, कितना है? Lake Van, Great Salt Lake, Lake Van in Turkey, Dead Sea in Jordan and Israel, Salt Lake in USA, Lake Sambar in Rajasthan. बताओ किसका कितना है बोलो. Lake Van in Turkey 330 parts per thousand. Lake Van. Lake Van in Turkey has the highest, most saline lake, as you know. Geographically, if you see the most important one, this is Lake Van. Do you know about this? Lake Van. Okay. Lake Van in Turkey. But आप बोलेंगे सर नहीं, there are regions like we have more salinity in some regions of the world. Yes, it is. कुछ जगह है इससे भी ज़्यादा है. Do you have any idea about this? Any idea? Partially enclosed water bodies has better, more salinity than other part. Why? Because they are enclosed sea. They are enclosed sea. Okay, we'll see now. What are the regions where you have maximum salinity? As I was saying, if I'll say inland sea and lakes, if you look at it, is more. Among the inland sea and lakes, it is more saline. Okay. Dead Sea 240 parts per thousand. Lake Van 330 parts per thousand. 240 parts per thousand, and Great Salt Lake of USA 220 parts per thousand, and here it is 205 parts per thousand. This is what you have in an NCERT or all books you will find out. So among these are the partially enclosed water bodies. Among these, this is the differences here. Now, Don Juan Pond of Antarctica, as per some, you can see in Google, you will find out Don Juan Pond. ये जो है ना 440 parts per thousand, which is regarded as the highest one. ये regard करते हैं, but we haven't there is no such any authentic. In the net, if you'll find Don Juan Pond, or there are other also in Africa also. But you must remember about Lake Ven and Dead Sea. ये दोनों को याद रखिए. बाकी नया अभी आया हुआ है बहुत सारे. But I am just saying one. Don Juan Pond of Antarctica. 447, I think, or something parts per thousand. So it is the highest माना जाता है. और उससे भी some of them claim that in Africa there is some water body where you have more. Whatever may be, these are certain things which I would like to say, that here you have more high, I can say, salinity is there. Okay, ये याद हो जाएगा आपको. So these are certain things I would like to say about your overall aspect of your salinity and temperature. आप इतना याद रख लीजिए temperature salinity में. I'll go for now ocean deposits. इस पे कुछ पूछना है तो बताइए. If there is anything. RLC among these, okay. Which one is lower, equatorial or temperate salinity? Among these two, मैंने दिया ना, temperate and the equatorial. देखो आप, equatorial है 34, temperate 31, 50 to 70 देख रहे हैं आप, 31, 34, तो lowest कहाँ होगा? Definitely at the temperate zone. वो आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि this is at temperate zone कहाँ पे? At the 60 degree latitude, near the low pressure cell. Range as a whole, you have this. RLC also has high temperature, high salinity in fact. High salinity in the RLC also will have the high salinity. Okay, RLC में भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा salinity है, comparatively more है. Tell me, yes. What you want to ask, please go ahead. I will go for this. Anything else? नहीं है कुछ भी. Okay, fine. I'll go for the next now. Salinity, as I have said, कोई अगर कुछ एक specific है, you can ask me. I'll definitely answer that. Later on आप पूछ लीजिए. हमें डिटेल में नहीं चाहिए. For prelim point of view, questions can be asked here. Okay, so I will not go in deep of this. There are a lot of things on this. I will now move on to ocean deposit. For pre point of view, it is very important. So you must remember this. Ocean deposit. For mains, ocean bottom relief, coral reef, ocean bottom relief, coral reef, marine resources, ocean current, coral reef, ocean bottom relief, marine resources. ये 4 टॉपिक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है मेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, बाकी सब प्रीलिम का. Even the ocean deposit, I don't think they will give you question. They will have questions from the marine resources, maybe. See, what is ocean deposit? All unconsolidated materials which is over the ocean bottom which get deposited. So you can say it has the unconsolidated material which deposited unconsolidated materials which got deposited at the floor of the ocean or ocean bottom is called as ocean deposits. इसको क्या कहते हैं? ओशियन डिपॉजिट कहते हैं. I would like to tell you one thing I just said mention earlier. पहले हमने मेंशन किया था कि डीप सी डिपॉजिट, they are called as the pelagic deposit also. Based on the sources you have different types of material like terrigenous deposit, I said, organic matter, volcanic matter, meteoritic matter, बहुत सारी चीजें होते हैं. ओशियन डिपॉजिट कैन बी डिवाइडेड इनटू डिफरेंट टाइप्स. देखते हैं, मैं एक फ्लो चार्ट बना देता हूं, दैट विल बी बेटर फॉर यू एंड यू विल गेट टू नो लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ऑन दिस ओशियन डिपॉजिट का. ओके, ocean deposit are of different types. Terrigenous deposit, another one is pelagic deposit. टेरा मीन अर्थ. सो अर्थ सरफेस से क्या होता है? ग्रावेल, सैंड एंड मॉड. व्हाट यू विल गेट? यू विल गेट ग्रावेल, you will get sand and you will get mud also. This get gravel, sand and mud you will get. Gravel, sand and mud, different things you will find out here. Again, mud are of different types. It can be of volcanic mud, it can be red mud, volcanic mud, it can be red mud, it can be volcanic mud, it can be red mud, pelagic, mud, we have red mud, we have green mud, we have volcanic mud, we have coral mud, different type of mud you have. I hope it is clear. Terrigenous deposit can be gravel, sand, mud, and this can be organic or inorganic, two different types also. This deposit can be organic deposit, it can be inorganic deposit. Organic deposit, inorganic deposit, two different things. We have here organic are of calcareous or siliceous. Organic, there are two types. It can be calcareous or it can be siliceous. Organic one can be rich in calcium, calcareous. Organic deposit can be calcareous or it can be siliceous. CALCARIOUS or SILICIOUS. ऑर्गेनिक, ये जो होता है ना इसको बोलते हैं क्या, ऊज कहा जाता है. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? ऑर्गेनिक को ऊज कहते हैं आप. सो सिलिशियस ऊज और calcareous ooze, two types of ooze are there. Calcium rich is pteropod and Globigerina. Pteropod and Globigerina, Globigerina. Globigerina ooze. Two types. Siliceous ooze can be Diatom or Radiolarian. आपका ये जो चीज है, दिस मस्ट रिमेंबर, ये फ्लो चार्ट को याद कर लीजिए आप, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट. इनऑर्गेनिक रेड क्ले एंड मेटेराइटिक डस्ट यू हैव. रेड क्ले एंड meteoritic dust, two things are there. Red clay and meteoritic dust. मीटियोर से जो होगा इतना है। आप देखिए यहाँ पे वाई आई एम सेइंग दिस बिकॉज ओशियन डिपोजिट जो होता ना टेरिजिनस एंड पेलाजिक दो टाइप है। ओ दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट? टेरिजिनस, दिस डिपोजिट इज बेस्ड क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ ओशियन डिपोजिट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर सोर्स। Based on source material. Based on the source material, ocean deposits are of two major types. I said based on the source material, ocean deposits are of terrigenous deposit and pelagic deposit. Terrigenous deposit can be gravel, sand and mud. Mud are of blue mud, red mud, green mud, volcanic mud and coral mud. Pelagic deposit is deep sea deposit. ये terrigenous है deep sea में रहेगा. Organic are decomposed known as ooze. Ooze can be rich in calcium or it can be silica. Calcium rich one is calcareous and silica rich is siliceous. Calcium rich are pteropod and globigerina. Siliceous rich, silica rich ooze are diatom and radiolarian. I hope it is clear. Now inorganic are red clay and meteoritic dust. Red के mostly volcanic in nature. जो volcanic जो होगा ना ये भी यहाँ volcanic है, देखो ये कॉन्टिनेंट के ऊपर है, ये ओशियन के अंदर होते हैं. That we will discuss in detail. So what I am saying is, based on the source material, as I said, based on the source material we have different type of. Here I said that we have different variety of or different types of deposits. Different types of deposits, ocean deposits you have. Okay, I said these deposits here, as I just mentioned about this deposit, I can go for like we can go for in detail. One terrigenous, please note down about this, or you can write Subhan 1.1. Terrigenous deposit क्या है? From the earth surface, from the continental part. Terra mean earth. From the earth surface, whatever is derived is terrigenous. From the continental part, whatever is derived is terrigenous. So, in case of terrigenous, we have like, मैंने कहा कि gravel. Gravel can be cobble, pebble, granule, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. Cobbles, pebbles, granules, boulders. All these things will be there. Gravel. Gravel includes cobble, pebble. Pebble and granules. You have also boulder भी होगा. More than 256 mm जो होता है बोल्डर बोलते हैं उसको. Okay, more than 256 mm जो रहेंगे. कोबल्स आर 64 to 256. ये नहीं चाहिए हमें, बट ये रीजर ग्रेवल होगा, बड़े बड़े होंगे. थोड़ा फाइनर होगा तो सैंड, वेरी कोर्स, मीडियम कोर्स, फाइन सैंड, वेरी कोर्स सैंड, medium coarse sand, rough sand is like mud. In here we have like silt clay, silty mud, clayey mud, and all these are there. So blue mud क्या होता है? Blue mud it is a widespread one in the continental shelf. Mostly you will get. It has iron sulfate and organic matter. Blue mud has iron sulfate. Iron sulfate, so they are blue in color, and organic material. Iron sulfate and organic material, that's a bluish in color, generally found in the continental shelf area. लिखो ये blue mud found in the continental shelf area. They have iron sulfate content of iron sulfate you have in blue mud. It is widespread, okay, and it is found in the shallow sea area also. Right. Second is red mud. It is generally derived from those rocks which are rich in iron. So oxides of iron here, iron oxide, iron oxides, rich in iron oxides, so red in color. Red in color due to rich iron oxides or oxides of iron. Oxides of iron. Then green mud due to glauconite. Glauconite is a mineral because the presence of glauconite, which is green in color, it is green. Green mud are green in color because of the presence of glauconite. Green mud green in color due to the presence of glauconite. GLAUCO होना चाहिए ना, GLAUCO, glauconite. Glauconite. Please note down here. Glauconite is there. You will find it this type of things in Australia, Cape of Good Hope regions of South Africa, coast of Japan, California region, coast of Japan. There you have glauconite rich. Volcanic तो volcano से होगा, so definitely volcanic is related with the volcanism. Volcanic activities inside the ocean, you know, they are ejected out of the volcano. Volcanic eruption से होगा. Volcanic mud will be there. They are generally black, brown to grey in color. They are volcanic mud, called as black, brown or grey. Black, brown and grey color, volcanic. Okay, they are volcanic. Now very importantly, now finally you can have this, like, you know, coral reef. Okay, coral mods are formed by coral and other calcareous deposit. They are mainly found in the near the coral island. While they got eroded, coral reef is there, it will get eroded. Then the mud which is developed because of the erosion of the coral reef and the finer material got deposited, coral polyps and all, they, so it is from coral reef from which they usually develop, from the coral reef इससे बनते हैं ये. I hope it is clear to you all. Now this is about the terrigenous deposit. Now coming to the pelagic deposit, look at down and note down here. Pelagic deposits are generally found in the deep sea area. German means pelagos, pelagos means sea. So pelagic deposits have their source in the sea itself, source in the sea. So in the greater depth you will find those. So anything pelagos, pelagos means German term is sea. So anything which is source, it is related with the origin, is related with the sea itself, it is pelagic. So pelagic में organic हो सकता है, inorganic हो सकते हैं. Organic material क्या है? The dead plant and animals, whatever is there. Okay, sea animals and the plant. While they dies out, their decomposition is there, and they have, like, you know, after decomposition or partially decomposed clay-like material, greasy material they develop generally. They are known as ooze. Their ooze are of two types, calcareous and siliceous. If it is rich in calcium, calcareous; if rich in silica, siliceous. The calcareous ooze, I said, like pteropod and Globigerina. So please note down here that pelagic are deposits developed from, these are the sediment developed from the ocean itself. They are originate from ocean itself. Okay, they originate from the ocean. And second point you can note down, the plant and animal, the marine plant and animal. Next point, the marine plant and animal, when they dies out, marine plant and animal, they dies out, their organic remain get deposited. The organic remain gets deposited and in decomposed form. These are called as ooze, OOZD. they are called as ooze. If it is animal, mostly animal, marine animal, their bones etc. they got deposited, calcium rich होता है. So one is rich in calcium, they are called as calcareous ooze. लिखो calcareous ooze, they are rich in calcium. They are rich in calcium. Okay, they are mostly from the animal which has the high proportion of lime or calcium. These are from the dead animal. These are from the dead animal which has a high proportion of calcium. Gluconite is a mineral. ये कुछ क्वेश्चन है. Let me see now. Our friend are asking here like, describe the region of salinity in the polar region once again. ए भाई ठीक है, बाद में करा दूं. What is gluconite? You said mineral है बोला मैं. It is a mineral, I told you. Gluconite is a mineral, I said. Gluconite ग्रीन कलर के होते हैं, मॉड में होता है. Okay. I hope you have written these things. Organic ooze, organic material is ooze, calcium rich, calcareous, bones and organic lime and calcium rich material. Pteropod and Globigerina, good example. Pteropod, most pteropod ooze are formed from the mollusk called as pteropod. Pteropod is a mollusk from which it is originated. So it is not pteropod mollusk, pteropod ooze. Our death हो जाएगा. After death of this only you will get this. Globigerina ooze from the cell of various foraminifera. Foraminifera. ये Globigerina जो है cell of foraminifera. By the way, ये aquatic animal है, उनका डेथ के बाद जो जमा हो जाते हैं, आपने देखा होगा ना. ये हैव यू सीन स्नेल देखा है? स्नेल, कोंच, शंख, इस टाइप का जो है ना, ये सब डेथ होने के बाद उसको जो कवर जो हो जाता है, जो कैल्शियम रिच मेटेरियल फ्रॉम देयर व्हेन दे डाइज आउट दैट डिकम्पोज्ड होकर उससे ooze बनता है, उसका डिपोजिशन में. ओके. And siliceous ooze, as I said, silica rich in silica. Siliceous is from the remains of those sea organism which have larger proportion of silica. कोई sea organism में अगर सिलिका कंटेंट है ज्यादा तो siliceous ooze होता है. Diatom है radiolarian, very good example here. Diatom vegetable kingdom, vegetation kingdom में होगा ये. Radiolarian and foraminifera, they have more and more organic, they have more and more silica rich material. Foraminifera सेल जैसे ना ग्लोबिजेरिना में है. रेडियोलेरियन में, रेडियोलेरियन सेल they are rich in silica. Dominant is calcium here. Dominant is calcium, that's why. Okay. So these are the things which I would like to say about this particular type of silica or siliceous and your calcareous ooze. Come to the inorganic. Red clay. Disintegration of minerals which are rich in maybe iron or any other things. Disintegration of mineral leads to red clay. Red clay form because of disintegration of the minerals. Mineral disintegration leads to the formation of the red clay. Red clay produced by disintegration of land minerals, and in fact there are few scientists who talked about रेड क्ले का जो है ना कैल्शियम ज़्यादा होता है and calcium nearly 6 to 7%. You have different minerals, maybe we have, like, in case of red clay, it is found in almost all ocean. These are minerals, nothing but that. These are nothing but the minerals. ये सब minerals है आपकी. Okay, and these are here. And meteoritic dust mean when the meteors comes in contact with the earth magnetic field while it is coming from outer space, friction with the earth atmosphere takes place and it burnt out. जलने के बाद क्या होगा? The remains of this burnt out and the remains of this dust, meteoritic dust and the ashes, they usually finally they here get deposited and meteoritic dust बनते हैं. मीटियोर से बनेगा तो meteoritic dust बोलते हैं उसको, because it is developed out of the meteor, it is known as the meteoritic dust. आप ग्लूकोनाइट पूछ रहे हैं. ग्लूकोनाइट इज ए सिलिकेट ऑफ आयरन. ओके, नाउ इट इज ओके. ग्लूकोनाइट इज ए सिलिकेट ऑफ आयरन. whenever the organic matter, decaying of the organic matter होता है तब आयरन कंपोनेंट जो है ना सिलिकेट ऑफ आयरन दे फॉर्म. decaying of the organic matter, at that time silicate of iron it forms. Decaying of organic matter, at that time silicate of iron form. This is gluconite, a mineral है. Okay, have you got it now? Okay, what is the cause of salinity of sea, ocean water, then river water? Does petroleum extract from pelagic deposits? It can be from anywhere, but marine organism, whenever they dies out and their decomposition, if they are trapped inside the different soil layer, then only they form petroleum. पेट्रोलियम के लिए मेरीन ऑर्गेनिज्म का मिट्टी के नीचे दब जाना बहुत जरूरी है, उससे ही होते हैं. ओके, now I'll take your questions. This is all about the ocean deposit which I said. Now I'll take your question. Please give me your question. One question here is, what is the cause of salinity of sea or oceanic water than river water? Cause of salinity of sea or ocean water then river water, मतलब okay, if you are asking about other than river water अगर है तो only river water is the major source, remember, and hydrological cycle in which it is coming with this. There is a salt budget according to which the gestation period of the salt at different part of the different organism also they are also releasing salt. When dead organism dies out, they are also releasing salt, but mainly from the river that we are getting the salt. I hope you got it. What is gluconite? Diatom and radiolarian, you are asking about that. Diatom and radiolarian. मैंने कहा diatom जो होता है, it is a type of ooze given by Murray. In fact, this is diatom. Diatom को मैंने कहा था आपको, or I haven't said diatom. And you want radiolarian. ठीक है. Radiolarian use develops by the decomposition and death and decomposition of radiolarian बोले ना, radiolarian, their decomposition and death of cell of radiolarian. Cell of radiolarian. Okay. यहाँ पे रेडियोलैरियन में सिलिका इज डोमिनेंट in it. सिलिका इज डोमेन, रेडियोलैरियन में सिलिका ज्यादा होता है. Okay, this is here radiolarian use. Fine. Next one, ये तो डायटम का अजय said about this, radiolarian use. और क्या पूछा आपने? एक मिनट, just 1 minute. Lot of SMS है. Radiolarian, and you are talking about diatom. Diatom, it is a microscopic size, yellowish or creamy colored materials. In fact, powder type होते हैं ये. वेजिटेशन मतलब प्लांट किंगडम की है. दिस इज इन द प्लांट किंगडम. ओके, डायटम, दे आर माइक्रोस्कोपिक, वेरी स्मॉल, very small. Diatom are very small, and they are of vegetable kingdom of microscopic. ऊज होता है, इससे बनते हैं. दे आर ऑफ प्लांट किंगडम है, प्लांट इस पे. इनफैक्ट द कैटेगरी अकॉर्डिंग टू मिस्टर मुर्रे, MURRAY is a very well known scientist, oceanographer, who categorized it as vegetation. Okay, so there are a lot of confusion about this, but it is rich in silica also. Death of this leads to formation of this type of material. Calcium, इस पे डायटम में जो होता ना, in the diatom, as I just mentioned, radiolarian and diatom both are rich in silica. तो siliceous ऊज इसीलिए कहा जाता है, because they are rich in silica. Okay, clear. Any other question you have? Anyone have any other question, please? Tomorrow I will move on to, first I'll go for the coral reef. Coral reef के बाद हम, I think you got the things. Coral reef, then you can go for a tide, sea wave and ocean current. Okay, so I request you all to have a glance over this from the material which you have. आपके पास जो भी मटेरियल है उसको पढ़िए. Preferably we can have this from our KSG materials. आज KSG materials from where you can study. Let me see and let me tell you what are the topics you need to study. देखो, ocean bottom topography, chapter number 30 in your booklet. Page number is 389. OBR is given. Horizontal vertical distribution of temperature, salinity, everything is here. Salinity of the ocean. So 30 and 31 chapter number from the book only you have to study. Chapter 30 and 31 from the book. Okay, 30 and 31 from the book. Tomorrow I will go for the areas of 33 and 32 and 33 will be covered tomorrow. So 30 and 31 chapter. Chapters on 30 and 31 you need to study from this book only, और कुछ नहीं पढ़ना है. Okay, then tomorrow I'll go for this one, 33 chapter, then 32 chapter. 33 is coral reef, 32 is ocean current. Tomorrow we'll have this. Tomorrow most probably we'll able to complete the ocean. If possible, I'll see ocean marine resource also I'll complete. Then we'll complete the ocean or oceanography part. Tide, wave, all these are also there. It is for prelim. Most of these are for prelim. For the mains it is less. So hopefully we'll able to complete. If it is well and good, if we'll able to do, or else I'll go for the whatever based on your question and all we'll move. Any other question you have? No question. So friends, one more thing I would like to say finally, that oceanography is very interesting, like other physical geography part, provided you will study. Reading and studying every day is very important. You are giving your 100% time for this. Requesting you all, revise the class note first. If you are not getting, tell us. If you have any problem, you can directly contact me, and it will be better, because I have classes almost throughout the day. So after 8 p.m. you can text me. I'll give you definitely reply. At least I'll give you. or if you have anything like describe the region of salinity in the polar region, 1 second. Okay, देखो, in the polar region what happened, just see here, this is the polar area, right? Let's talk about this part. This is polar regions. In the polar region we have cold water is there. Then what happened, because there is more in the polar regions, what happens, upper part they come in contact with immediately, the temperature is very low in the upper surface, because of low temperature immediately ठंडा हो जाएगा वो. So ऊपर पार्ट में क्या होंगे, here you have ice, स्नो बन जाएंगे, you have ice caps, ऊपर आइसबर्ग जैसा बन जाएगा, आइसबर्ग विल बी देयर अपर पार्ट में, और आइस शेल्फ बन जाएंगे. बट बिलो वी हैव द वाटर इज देयर बिकॉज टू थिंग्स, एक तो है टेम्परेचर, मैंने कहा 4 डिग्री होगा हुआ. सेकेंड थिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो ऊपर जो आपका जो व्हाट यू कॉल द फ्रोजन आइस यू हैव, बिलो दिस यू हैव सलाइन वाटर ओनली देयर. ऊपर फ्रेश वाटर जो है ना वो बन गया, सेग्रीगेशन ऑफ द वाटर, एंड फ्रेश वाटर विल हैव ice, but below only you have your saline water. So saline salinity बढ़ जाएगा, that is the cause salinity will increase, बढ़ जाएंगे salinity इसीलिए, ठीक है. That is what I said. If river is the source of salt in ocean, then why river water is not saline? My dear, river को अगर stagnant कर दो, river बहता रहता है ना, दो चीज देखो आप इसको, ये ओशियन है, ठीक है, और ये रिवर है. देखो, दिस इज द रिवर, ये रिवर है, ये ओशियन. वी कैन हैव लाइक यू नो, मैं और एग्जाम्पल दे देता हूँ. केटली देखा है, केटली, चाय की केटली, देखा है ना, ये पानी जा रहा है, इधर पानी आया, इधर पानी गया, यहां पे वाटर इज कमिंग एंड नाउ एवापोरेशन इज देयर. हियर वी हैव इट इज कमिंग एंड एवापोरेशन इज देयर, इज नॉट इट. वाटर, नदी का पानी आ रहा है समंदर में, जाके एवापोरेशन हो रहा है, फिर और पानी आ रहा है, फिर एवापोरेशन हो रहा है. एवापोरेशन के टाइम पे सॉल्ट तो रह जाएगा ना ओशियन में, फॉर मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स इट इज देयर. ओनली वेपराइज क्या हो रहा है, पानी पानी चला जा रहा है, बट सॉल्ट तो रह जाएगा ना जमा होके फॉर ईयर आफ्टर ईयर लाइक दिस. बट आपका वाट, ये रिवर में ये तो बहता हुआ पानी है. अगर रिवर को भी ऐसे स्टेगनेंट कर दिया जाए और एवापोरेशन होता रहेगा तो डेफिनेटली देयर आल्सो इट विल इंक्रीज. इसमें क्या है, आप सोचो सोचो बिफोर आस्किंग दिस प्लीज, नहीं तो कॉल करना मुझे. व्हाई रिवर वाटर इज स्वीट एंड सी वाटर इज, फिर आ गया भाई, रिवर में बहुत चीनी है, चीनी. उड़ी बाबा, मीठा 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 खाएगा. अरे भाई, ये क्वेश्चन मुझे क्यों पूछा बताओ? लग रहा है हमें मिठाई खिलाने के लिए बुला रहा है तुम. मिठाई की जगह पे तुम गंगा का पानी पिला लेगा. वाई रिवर वाटर इज स्वीट एंड सी वाटर इज सल्टी. एक बार फिर समझाऊं? चलो ठीक है, बिकॉज यू आस्क्ड मी. सी और द ओशियन. आप मुझे बताओ, सॉल्ट क्रिस्टल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट सोर्सेस इज कमिंग हियर थ्रू दिस वाटर. आ गया इधर पे, आया कि नहीं? दे आर कमिंग इन दिस वे, सॉल्ट क्रिस्टल आ गया. जब एवापोरेशन हुआ यहां पे, व्हेन देयर इज एवापोरेशन इज देयर, ये हो गया आपका एवापोरेशन. एवापोरेशन तो सॉल्ट क्रिस्टल तो रह गया ना, सॉल्ट क्रिस्टल इज हियर, इट विल बी इन द वाटर इटसेल्फ. एवापोरेशन में पानी एवापोरेट हुआ, सॉल्ट तो रह जाएगा ना. फॉर मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स इट विल बी लाइक दिस. बट इन केस ऑफ रिवर व्हाट हैपेन, पानी बहता हुआ फ्रॉम द कॉन्टिनेंटल पार्ट लैंड मास, द salt get dissolved when it is here, it is coming in this way, it will flow. अगर इसको हम रोक लेंगे, एवापोरेशन होता रहेगा, तो इसका भी सैलिनिटी बढ़ जाएंगे. ओके, इट इज ऑल्सो देयर, बिकॉज इन केस ऑफ द ओशियन evaporation is more, there is continuous evaporation and the salt particles are getting deposited in the ocean floor itself. But on the contrary, when there is runoff, ज़्यादा बारिश होगा तो पानी आते हैं नदी में, the whatever component in the soil you are having, they got dissolved, and with this salt also there it will come. So comparatively it will be sweet. I mean salinity कम होगा. Hey, you got it or not? Please let me know. अगर नहीं अभी समझ में आया ना तो फोन कर लेना. Okay. So thank you very much. Then have a nice time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Thank you.